second tutorial on how to make trance music, and this time it's chill out stuff, less energy and people think that chill out is quite easy to make, but it isn't. Trust me, it takes a lot of effort to make it. First thing, I'll teach you on how to make the proper trance kicks. I use Vengeance, so I have this kick, right? So let's hear it without any plugins. Here, it sounds like this. Yeah, it is quite noisy and not at all clean. So to remove the low frequency part, to remove the background voice, I put the parametric EQ 2, and you just have to drag this 7 down and 1 up, because it gives more of quite a nice noise. I mean, like, listen how it sounds like this, and then how it sounds like this. It gives more of an energetic effect. And the second plugin I use is Sausage Fattener. This is a very good plugin for kicks. It is quite simple. The amount of fatness is the amount of depth in your kicks. I generally put it around 25 for trance, if only and only if I want very good kicks, very powerful. And now it sounds like this. Yeah, it is very energetic. That is because it was a chill out track, and I wanted the kick to be quite clear and good sounding. Then the main melody. Okay, again, as I told in my previous tutorial track, that the melody of a trance track is always made up of 3 notes. Here it is again the same, and it sounds like this. For melody, I've put parametric EQ 2. I've done this because without this, let's listen to it without any plugins. Just for the difference, let's keep parametric EQ on. It actually has a difference, but maybe if you are very new to electronic music and all, you won't see the difference. Then I put the cross beat and side chainer. It's usually over here. I just put the graph over there because it has a good effect. Okay. Then comes the pads. Yeah, obviously, as in the previous tutorial I told, pads play a very important and vital role in the trance music, and that's because it gives a background effect. I mean, it actually supports the main melody or your bass lines and all stuff. So a pad is quite necessary. The pad is according to the chords and notes of the main melody. You can check it out. And for pads, I have used parametric EQ 2 again, yeah, it is quite very useful plugin. Then I've used crossbeat and sidechain, and the graph is like this because I wanted the noise to be like, it sounds like this. I'm sorry as my laptop lags. Yeah, it's sometimes. Then I've put the fruity free filter, but that's something you don't need to know right now, because I'll show that when I'll show how the song was made actually. Then I used claps. Claps is actually the kicks are like 4 steps. Fill each 4 step. So the claps are just basically over here and here. I put the 8 steps and I place it over here. It's like this. And I have used parametric EQ2, sound godizer, reverb, and maximus for claps. Parametric EQ2 just to lower the extra useless noise that comes with the clap. And then I've used the sound godizer. Don't ever increase it much. Yeah, I kept in D. And then I used reverb with 15% of reverb, and then maximus I just placed the graph like it was like this, so I placed it like this. Simple. And it sounds like this. Don't worry if the kicks and claps sound very high now, because in the track they actually go according to the melody, and they kind of suit in they kind of suit the track. The loop, I used a loop just for basic support to the melody, and because the track is actually this track, so you see it doesn't start with the melody, it actually sounds with a loop. I wanted a track that doesn't start with a melody, that's why I used a loop. The volume is quite low, so actually it doesn't become the main melody or the main bass line. You see, I generally use Nexus for all the stuff that I make, so I just used After Midnight one, and the notes of the loop are the same as of the pads, because the chord these chords go according to the melody, so it sounds like this. And for the loop, no, for the loop I haven't used anything. Then comes the hats. Yeah, these are actually my favorite part, because I use open hats, shaker, closed hats. Yeah, not much of no use of mixer in this, because the hats were quite okay, and the volume of them in the track is quite low, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I haven't done any minute perfection for it. It sounds like this. And then goes the snare roll. The C. I have used the snare. Generally, snare in trance, snare is not used as the main. The drum beats that are used in the track, like claps, kicks, and hats. It is. I used it for when there's a major change in the track, there's a snare roll, and that too quite an energetic and loud one, so that it actually makes a bit of transition kind of stuff, and it sounds like this. Nothing, I've just done like 1 2 the note, I mean all are in C5 only. I just increase the volume, I mean I've kept such that it increase the volume, so it goes for a nice effect. And then the bass. Yeah, in the last video, I mean the first video that I made, I told that I haven't used any bass in the song, but this song does have a bass, and it sounds like this. Actually, yeah, I've used Panomatic. This plugin is for an effect where the first note comes in one of your, I mean in the right side of your headphone, the second in your left, right, left, it goes like that. Yeah, the effect is quite good, but as for now, I'll just show you how it actually sounds like. Okay. It gives a very nice effect. I just okay. The actually bass won't be heard if I mean casually in this song, but yeah, in some part of the song it may be heard quite clearly, and it does give a nice support. Then comes the snare roll 2. This again is just the transition kind of stuff, where again the volume is low and then it goes high. Just the notes are quite different. It sounds like this. I have used the VEH Snare 005 in this. I am a huge fan of Trance, and yeah, they have great samples. Then this is the key part. I mean, when the energy is low in the song, that is most probably in the middle of the song, there needs to be a different melody or something. So this sounds like this. I've made the notes such that these are 4 notes, then a single, 4 single, then 4 4 4 4. The single notes give a lighter effect, and yeah, I liked it a lot. Then the next part is I used different sets of claps for the low energy part of the song, because these claps, the main claps, were quite loud for the low energy part, so I used another claps. And yeah, I've just used reverb too, and then sound goodizer and maximus again. This time I just the graph was like this, so I just lowered it a bit. That's minus 1.5 dB. That's because if the dB was high, it would sound very loud again as the previous claps, and these claps sound like this. And yeah, the positions are the same. 8th position, I mean, fill each steps 8 and towards the right. Then there's a collapse roll too, because when you change from the from the main the low energy part to the main melody, again there needs to be some type of change in your stuff. So I made a clap roll and it sounds like this. Then there is this melody uplift, right? This melody uplift is something that wouldn't be heard if you are quite new and all. It is just the minor stuff. It is in the low energy part, and this is how it sounds like. These strings were made to support the keys, the piano keys, and they sound like this. I'm sorry I had to pause that recording. That is because some personal stuff. I was here. The strings sound like this. The instrument I used for this was citrus violin ensemble 2. Okay. And I used reverb with 15% of reverb and soundgoodizer to make this sound better. Okay, that's it. A chill out track in 14 patterns. Yeah, obviously, as you all know, I'm not professional or something, but still people like my songs, and the song sounds like this. Maybe you haven't noticed, but the CPU load chart showed 99%, so I fear that my FL Studio will crash soon, so maybe we won't be playing the whole song, but I'll just show you the different automations and stuff that I've used. First thing, this is the automation for master volume, that is the volume of the whole song. So I just increase it for I didn't want two different start and ending for the song, so I just did a simple in the increasing volume and then has a decreasing volume. That's it. Then as I told you that I've used a loop because I didn't want the melody to be in the start. So this is the loop. I mean, for this part of the track, the loop is the actually acts as, I mean, just a supporting. It doesn't even have a nice volume for the track. Just listen to it. It is a very low frequency, I mean low energy area. And then there's the snare roll. So just listen to the snare roll, and please forgive me for the slow software stuff, because that's because my laptop sucks. This is the part where the bass is heard, and you might be wondering that I've used panomatics, still the voice effect is not coming. That's because the mix level over here is 0. I have kept the mix level as high only and only when the all the main melodies and kicks and claps and all are just go, I mean, when all of them are used, that's the time the mix level is like this. Because if the panomatic effect is heard when the bass is heard quite clearly, it doesn't suit this track, so I've kept it like that. And over here, the volume of the melody increases. I mean, that's how the melody is entering the song. Keep in mind, I mean, try as far as possible to use extra effects like FX bass drums, wind effect, and all the different types of effects in the song, because they actually sound very good. And I have used this FX bass drum because after this build up, the volume of the melody is going to be constant, so just for a good effect. And in this part, this is the snare roll 2, right? It sounds like this. Effects over here, and these are the crash effects. And yeah, it's like this starting part doesn't have the melody, so obviously the loop, I mean, there should be some sound of the loop, so the volume of the loop is high over here. And once the melody starts, that's this area, I mean this area, the loop volume decreases, because that's when loop doesn't have to play the main role of a bass line, but has to act as a supporting stuff. Okay. And then the mix level of cross beat of pad. So this full level actually sounds like there's a break between the pads. Okay, so in the start, when pads can be heard quite clearly, I didn't want the level to be high, so I kept it low. And then once all the melodies and all the stuff starts, it is high. And again over here, where the energy level is low, this is kept low, and then again high. The snare pitch, I mean, yeah, some people might wonder that snare rolls are hardly one pattern and why to have a pitch envelope for them. But yeah, the pitch does make a difference. I mean, if you have good ears for EDM, you'll understand that if the pitch increases and at the same time the snare roll is, I mean, the volume of the snare roll is increasing as I've kept it, it sounds very good. So all this sounds like this, and then over here the low energy part starts. Sorry for that. Over here I've used this FX sound that I have. um, it is actually like where is it? Yeah, it's actually like this, but for the I just cloned it and reversed it because it goes like this, and then it decreases, and then it sounds like this. This is the part where the other claps, that is claps 2, I've used these are the claps, because the first claps had a lot of energy and they were quite loud for this part. This part, the uplift part, I don't use only one uplifter. I actually use two to three of them to add to have a lot of effects. So you can see, like, see, there are three of them. And then there's the snare roll one again. It's and yeah, one more thing. One more thing, that while this, the pads and the keys are playing, and there's this uplift part, I just made a frequency envelope for them, so that this part gives that, I mean, there's an effect like, I mean, it gives kind of a nice effect. So I just did this, and then obviously the frequency of the key should be again full, so that they sound quite good, like over here. And the end is simple: master volume decreases, simple. So that's how I made this track. um, I haven't even uploaded this on SoundCloud or YouTube or wherever, but I just made a tutorial to show people how to make a chill out track. Only for 14 uh, patterns used, uh, and yeah, 14 patterns. That doesn't mean that it never took time. It actually takes a lot of time. You need to give a lot of input to make a nice track. uh, this is a typical chill out track where the energy level, I mean, there's no drop, there's no hard bass line or melody, where the energy level is quite high. It is just a soothing kind of a song without vocals, and it's for 6.5 minutes, and and it is pretty well. I mean, it is pretty good. So this is all that I can tell you about. And one more thing, that over here, when the energy level was low, the volume of FL keys was kept, the normal one, that is around 75 to 78%, because then it would have been too loud. But here the volume had to be increased, because there was this melody, loop, pad, all different kind of patterns. And when the volume was low, it wasn't being able to hear, I mean, wasn't quite clear and good. It didn't sound good, so that's why the volume was increased over here. So that's it.